Morning world, it's 7:30 in the morning UK time on Sunday the 16th of February 2025. We've just coming out of a full moon pattern, and this full moon was one of the more difficult of the year. It wasn't the most difficult, that's yet to come. The full moon was very strongly square Uranus. Not only was the Sun and Moon square Uranus, as well as the major asteroid or dwarf planet Ceres, but also Mercury was square Uranus. And Mercury square Uranus makes people run away at the mouth, myself included, obviously. And when I was filming for my documentary, first episode will be released by the end of February, providing I can find a platform to release it on. I was doing some filming at the more modern temple of Saturn in Rome. There's two temples of Saturn in Rome. One is at the Colosseum, it's the ancient Saturn of Rome, and one is a more Art Deco model built a couple of hundred years ago. And I was at the second one, and I opened my mouth to talk about it and to talk about the energy of Saturn, and it wasn't Saturn's energy that came through, it was the energy of Uranus, or Uranus, as he used to be known. And the thing about Uranus is that when he's in a bad mood, he is the total nihilist. There's no negotiating and no compromise. There's no discussion to be had. Uranus is the destroyer. And he's not interested in just destroying individuals or destroying games or relationships or plans or environments. He wants to destroy everything. So it's not just about destroying companies or nation states or reputations. He wants to destroy nature, wants to destroy the planet, the cosmos. Uranus is Ragnarok. He wants to destroy everything when he's in a really bad way. So I channeled Uranus and I came out really vitriolic, and I didn't know I was going to do it. Not that I channel anyone, but I opened my mouth and Uranus popped through. And it was filmed, and it will be on the documentary at some stage in the future, possibly in the blooper reel, with a lot of bleeping out, because I was quite profane, in fact, very profane. And I was thinking about that this morning. And then I was thinking about how, in recent weeks, I've been struggling to keep my peace around the situation involving Russia and Ukraine, or Israel and Hamas, Hezbollah, Palestine, Iran, which used to be known as Persia. Everyone's got their opinions. And every time I open my mouth on this, I get accused of not doing enough to criticize Israel, or being pro-Semite or pro-Arab, anti-Israeli, and there's no pleasing some people. And then the other day, I did a video around the full moon where I was quite critical of some of the right-wing movements that are emerging around the planet at the moment. And I got so trolled, particularly by people from America, pro-Trumpers, who accused me of having TDS. I had to look it up. I had no idea what it was. And then, a couple of days ago, I dared to suggest that perhaps what Trump was doing was positive, or at least trying to give him credit for trying to do the right thing by bringing the war in Ukraine and the war in the Middle East to an end. I dared to suggest that if it worked out, I'd be quite complimentary of him. Unleash the dogs of hell. And there's just no pleasing some people all the time. There's no pleasing all people any of the time. Now I've got thick skin, right? I'm going to be 70 this year, and I've been putting out YouTube content for 14 years, free of charge, and I will continue to do so, because to me, astrology is the best language for trying to give my own best attempt at being objective, detached and impersonal on what I see as the world situation. And I know And I've had a lot of reassurance that the vast majority of people out there support me in this. So thank you. You know who you are. But there's always the 20% who say, you should be pro-Trump, you should be anti-Trump, pro-Israeli, pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine. And I'm thinking, what is all this? What is it that makes people hate? And also, in order to hate someone, you first of all got to recognise what it is you hate about them in yourself. So it seems to me that people who hate are very damaged and wounded people. I can hear many of you clicking off now in righteous indignation. Bye. Close the door after you. Don't come back. The fundamentalists of all types, the right-wing white Christian, the left-wing radical socialist, the black, the white. I titled this video, Love and Hate. If you can feel compassion and empathy and sympathy, in many people's eyes, this is a weakness. But in those people who follow astrology, whom I call the intelligentsia, because you cannot be a serious astrological student or an astrologer without naturally gravitating to a non-judgmental middle path where you do your best not to criticize anyone else for their choice of belief, whilst at the same time keeping your opinions to yourself. If you're going to become an astrologer, you're going to become intelligent, and eventually you will end up wise. I'm still in my apprenticeship, but I'll get there one day, allegedly. We are in crazy times. The vitriol is palpable. A lot of people are panicking, and there's a lot of knee-jerk reactions because they see what's going on in the world, and they realise that what they thought they wanted isn't actually what they wanted at all, or what they thought they wanted isn't turning out the way they expected. This is the rise of the demagogue and the totalitarian. This is the cult of personality. This is Uranus, taking things to extremes, which it eventually and inevitably will snap back. There is no right way or wrong way. There is only the way, and no, I'm not turning into a Buddhist. The past is history, the future is a mystery, this moment is a present gift This moment is a present gift in time. That's why it's called the present. A precious gift in time. In order to love or hate, you have to recognize those qualities in yourself. And you either have to love or hate yourself to be able to do it to others. So, look. I'd love to be that type of guy who everyone goes, oh, he's such a wise man. Because that's why I always wanted to be a wise man. But I'm going to be 70 in a few weeks' time, a couple of months' time. I can't be bothered with pandering to anyone out there who wants me to express a particular viewpoint just because it suits their narrative. So, look. I'm doing my very best. I've always done my very best. I will continue to do my very best. I'm getting thicker and thicker skin while still trying my best to be a good guy. And if you don't like it, well, the second word is off and close the door behind you. All right? Don't come back. Go and find other astrologers who will pander to your narrative and tell you what you want to hear so that you think the world is a safe place and everything is good with the world. But if you're coming here, you're going to get the truth. That the world is going crazy. Now there's one planet and 8 billion different worlds. We are all responsible for our own perception. No one makes you feel anything. He made me think. You made me feel. If you hadn't done that, I wouldn't feel like this. Rubbish. That's an excuse. We're getting to the point where results are what's needed now, not reasons. Now, I have to hold my hands up to all these extremists in the world who are going, okay, we're going to do it this way now, and we're not taking any interference. Because at least they're doing something and not bitching about, oh, it's so awful, this is so bad, oh, we can't do this, we'll offend so many other people. Those days are coming to an end. This is the fact, this is reality. What you can do is you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, do I want to buy into this narrative? Do I want to go along with the current trends? Do I want to be a good person? Do I want to grow up liking myself? Do I want to look back on my life when I'm older and say, no, I did my best. I acted with integrity and dignity. I was authentic. Or I followed the herd. I believed what I was told. I took the Kool-Aid. I ate the burgers. You are responsible for your perception. You are responsible for your attitude. And if there's one thing that Uranus does, apart from being nihilistic, when he's in a bad way, he's the destroyer. But when he's in a good way, Uranus is a planet that brings independence, freedom, and liberty. The rights of the individual. And the individual has a free voice. The individual can say whatever they want, and ideally without fear. And of course, the vast majority of countries in the world will criticize anyone who says anything that doesn't fit their narrative. But the ideal is free human rights. But with that comes responsibility. You can criticize your neighbors for their color of skin, or for their religious beliefs, or for their political attitudes. But that doesn't make you better or worse than them. It just makes you different. So I guess what I'm saying here is that unless humanity, as a species, wises up and realizes that we are all responsible for our lives, we are all responsible for the way we choose to see the world, we are all responsible for whether we choose to believe what's being fed to us, and whether we're strong enough to stand up in ourselves and go, no, this isn't my truth. My truth, taught to me by over 45 years of astrological study, my truth is that there's no way out of this planet. We're all stuck here, and we either get on or we become extinct, and we will kill each other. There is no right way or there's no wrong way. There's only the way. And that way, whether you like it or not, involves living with each other, cooperating, listening to each other's viewpoints, and then choosing to disagree if you wish, but listening, giving each other equal time to both listen and be listened to, and to not be cynical about love. Catch you later, world. Bye.